use the word etiquette. The Torah has its own etiquette. For instance, what do we do in the synagogue when the ark is open? We stand, right? And any time the Torah is raised or being held, we stand out of respect for it. We have etiquette in other areas of our lives. We have ways of showing respect to people in other areas of our lives. The Torah has its own set of good manners. And the way in which we have an Aliyah also reflects that. So, let's begin. We call people up to the Torah by their Hebrew names. And the form of your Hebrew name is your name, then the son of, and your father's name. Okay, for instance, what's your name? Meir. Okay, so you would be called up, Meir, Ben, and what's your father's name? Yitzchak. Okay, and the other bit of information we need along with your name is to know if you're a Kohen, a Levi, or a Yisrael. And you are exactly what your father is. So if your father was a Kohen, you're a Kohen. If your father was a Levi, you're a Levi. And if your father was neither, then you're a Yisrael. Okay, so what would your full name be?
Okay, Meir ben Yitzchak Yisrael.
Well, we don't say Yisrael. That's a good point. Meir ben Yitzchak. Meir ben Yitzchak would be your name. Okay, and what's your Hebrew name? And your Hebrew name is Daniel. Okay, and your father's Hebrew name? Pascal. Okay. Do you know if you're a Kohen or a Levi or a Yisrael? Okay. So it would be Daniel ben Yechezkel. In the case of a Kohen or a Levi, we would add HaKohen or HaLevi to the name. In the case of those of us who are neither a Kohen or a Levi, we don't, it's just other names. Let me go through the procedure. And if there are any questions, I'll answer them, and then I'll give each of you a chance to do this. And then, if we have time, we'll talk about Hagla and Blila, which is filth. So, my Hebrew name is Yitzchak Yisrael ben Gavriel, and I happen to be Yisrael, so it would be Yitzchak Yisrael ben Gavriel. Somebody would call me up, Ya'amod, Yitzchak Yisrael ben Gavriel, Shlishi. We add Shlishi of a number of the Aliyah. Shlishi, for instance, would be the third Aliyah. Okay? So how do you come up to the Torah? You come up the shortest way from your seat. If there are two ways to come up to the table here, you come up the shortest way. It shows we're anxious to come to the Torah. The Torah is very important. We want to get here. If both the distance is the same, there is no short way, then we come up on the right side. So we come up here, and the reader will take the yad, the pointer. He'll show us a place where a reading begins. We take a corner of our talit. We don't touch the inside of a Torah with our hands because it's considered holy. The practical considerations, you don't want to get oil from our hands on here, destroying the script and so on. The religious reason is that it's holy. The other considerations are practical considerations of wanting to preserve the parchment and the printing, the writing, without any damage. So with the pointer, the reader will show us where the reading begins. We take a corner of a talit, we touch it to that place, we put it to our lips to kiss it, and then we take hold of the two Eitz Chaim, what I'm holding of the Eitz Chaim. We connect ourselves, whenever we say a blessing, we want to connect ourselves as much as possible with the reason for saying the blessing. So in the case of the Torah, we hold on to the Eitz Chaim. We have the scroll open like this, but we do not look into the scroll. We look to the side, we look up, we look somewhere else. Because the blessings we're saying are not found in the Torah. They were created by the rabbis. If we looked in the Torah when we recited the blessings, it might appear to people who are looking that the blessings are actually in the Torah. We have so much respect for the Torah that we don't want to confuse the issue of what's in the Torah and what was of later origin, or rabbinic origin. So to keep those distinctions straight, we hold on to the Eitz Chaim, we have the Torah open like this, and we look up, and we look at the side here, and we say the first blessings. I would say Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach, and the congregation answers Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Liolam Vahed. And then because I'm part of a congregation, I repeat that. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Liolam Vahed. Then I go on with a blessing. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. Congregation answers Amen. The Torah reader answers Amen and then reads a section from the Torah. And as he's reading, I follow along, and I recite the words quietly to myself along with him, because he's really reading for me. There was a time historically when the person called up for Aliyah actually would read from the Torah. That's not always the case today. We usually have an official Torah reader, and he'll read a section from the Torah, then he comes to the end. He shows me with the pointer where he finished reading, and I take the corner of a talit again, I touch it to the place, I kiss it, and this time I roll the scroll closed, like so. And I begin to say the next blessing. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. Okay, and everybody answers Amen. Then I move to the side here. We don't rush right down. We don't run away as soon as we finish the Aliyah, but we stay up here until the end of the next Aliyah. And then after the next person is called up for an Aliyah, after he says his last blessing, then we go down, and we go down by the longest route to our seats, or from the left side, if both ways are the same distance. Okay. Any questions before I give each of you a chance?
I'd like to ask you, when you stand at the Torah, are you supposed to hold on to to one of the left?
It's fine.
That's fine.
When you say the blessings, you hold on to both of them.
And after?
When the reader is reading, it's customary to hold on at least to one. Yeah. And again, it establishes a physical connection to the Torah. Any volunteers? No? Ya'amod Meir ben Yitzchak. Ya'amod Meir ben Yitzchak. Shlishi. Okay, come out there. And you can pretend this is a talit. And I'm showing you a place where the Torah reading begins. So what do you do?
Oh, where is it?
Here. I don't want to touch it. Okay. And what do you do now?
Baruch Hu.
Nope. What do you take over this? Okay.
From the center.
Okay. Baruch Hu et Adonai Barach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Barach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torah. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Then I go on, I read a section, and I come to the end of it, and I show you where we finished. And here, okay. And this time we close the Torah. Roll it closed. So, and you hold on here again.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Terrific. Excellent. Okay, and then wait there, right? Okay. Ya'amod Daniel ben Yechezkel. Okay, come around the other side. Okay.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Hamara.
Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol
Amen.
ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai naten haTorah.
Amen. Vayishlach Yaakov. And I read a section of the Torah, and this is where it ends. So what do? Good. Okay. And we roll the Sefer Torah closed, like so. Hold on to it and go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet
V'chayei
v'chayei olam
nata b'tochenu.
tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Very good. Okay, and what do you do now? Terrific. Terrific. Okay.
Got it?
Take your first. Okay, come around the other side. Okay, I'm showing the place here. Good.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch
Baruch Adonai Baruch Olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim natan lanu et Torah. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And I read a section of Torah, and we end over here. Okay. And the roll is closed. Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Terrific. Okay. So, right, master this. The purpose is so a congregation can see the words of the Torah. In fact, the greatest honor in the whole Torah service is to lift the Torah and to address the Torah, especially to lift the Torah, because giving the congregation an opportunity to see it. So where we begin here.
Baruch es Adonai Hambarach.
Adonai Baruch
Baruch Adonai Baruch L'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Section we end over here. So
Olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
terrific.
Just,
Okay.
and no one would ever believe he's doing it for the very first time.
That's okay. At the end of a Torah reading, we call up two people. Somebody who's called Hamagbiah. Hamagbiah means to raise, and the other is Hagolel. Hagolel means to roll or to dress the Torah. Okay. There's an art to lifting the Torah, and I'm somewhat modest about my abilities. So, but we'll attempt to
have to move
demonstrate this. Okay. When you come up here for Hagla, the thing to do is to move its Torah down like this, and oops, and bend your knees, and so, except the three columns are supposed to be exposed.
You turn around the other way.
And turn around.
Yeah. And you say, V'zot
And turn around
haTorah.
facing, so a congregation can see the truth of the Torah.
And they sing, V'zot haTorah.
That's right.
Asher sam
This is a
Moshe.
Torah that Moses placed before the Israelites according to God's word,
Al-Pi Adonai.
according to the word of the Lord. You might ask, what's the point of people seeing the truth of the Torah after we read it? And it's an interesting thing because the Sephardic Jews lift up the Torah before they read it, so you know what you're doing. So you know it's true before you hear it read.
Yeah, but you got to explain about the Sephardic Torah. See, they're facing, it's facing the audience.
Yeah.
When they lift it up, it's
Heiser, yes, yep. Okay, so the person who lifts the Torah lifts it the way I did, and then goes to a seat. It's usually directed to a place to sit down. And a person who has glila, or galel, dresses the Torah, which means, let's see.
no careful.
I don't have Hagma
You
too
want me- you
often.
want me?
There's probably a good reason for that. Okay, oops. And so, where do we? That's the proper place. Yes. Okay, we're
You're
addressing
binding.
the Torah.
You're binding it.
The purpose of this belt around it is, it's called in Yiddish a gartel. It's a belt. It has a practical purpose of protecting the Torah so that it's not damaged, so that you can imagine if the parchment was not held in place, that it might very easily rip. And the knot on that, I don't know if you all saw it, the knot is towards the person who's sitting down here, towards which is in front of the Torah, in effect, and the mantle is also facing in this direction. So,
And then we put it in.
and it goes into a holder. Okay, you okay with that? All right, well, the best way of getting to become familiar with what happens during the Torah service, in fact, during the service in general, is to come to services as often as possible. And the more you're here, the more familiar you are, the more comfortable you'll be when you celebrate a bar mitzvah or an aufruf and are asked to take part in the service.